Good morning, Raven County. It's Roger Glenn with POS Realty. We are really happy to be here at Habersham Electric Membership Corporation. I should just say HEMC, right?
That's how we say it.
We're actually in Clarksville today, but we're here with Glenn Purcell, who's the Vice President of Technology and Services, and we are here to talk about something that is on the hearts and minds of every person that lives or spends any amount of time in Raven County, and that is broadband internet access, or in the case of HEMC, Glenn, it is your Trailwave program.
Yeah, we're excited about what we've been doing over the last several years with our Trailwave product and a lot of the services that we've been introducing, and just getting those people that haven't had quality internet, connected.
Yeah. So for folks that have not heard about Trailwave, I know a lot of people are starting to hear about it if they haven't before. Can you just sort of talk about the inception of the program and what it is?
Yeah, starting in 2012, Habersham, Blue Ridge, and another co-op at the time, GCC, received a BTOP grant, roughly about $42 million. And with that money, we built a high-speed network or a fiber ring that got us to Atlanta, redundant paths going down 985, 400, and then also to Chattanooga. So we're in the process of now upgrading that to 100, or 100 gig. And that's the high speed part of our network. Now Trailwave serves the middle mile and the customer side of it.
Right.
And so as of today, we have roughly 5,800 customers. If you put that in perspective, as of 2018, we had roughly 1,600 customers.
Right.
So, we are growing the business as fast as we can.
Yeah, I'm going to go back on a couple of things you said. So it started with a grant and then sort of this vision that you would eventually offer consumer broadband internet across the entire grid. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, so it really started with the fact that as a utility, we needed a robust fiber network to talk to our substations and downstream devices for reliability purposes.
Yeah.
So that was the original intent of the fiber network. Because it's a very small incremental dollar value to add a few more strands, they formed Trailwave Fiber at that point to then serve a broadband function to the community.
Yeah. So what that means is they took the money that they were already investing to provide electric service, if you will, to the grid and added on top of that this broadband overlay, if you will.
True, which Trailwave pays for.
Right, and I was going to say, now instead of it being grant money or any public funds, right, it's all funded internally, as I understand it, through the members.
So Habersham needs X number of fiber to run our network. If you look at, and the common term for this now is smart grid, and as you see more distributed energy resources, solar, coming onto our network, battery chargers, we need to be able to monitor that in real time. Because of the disturbances it can do within the network. Got to think about it. For 100 years, the electric grid has stayed the same. Now, with solar, battery storage, it's changing. So that's where what the fiber network is really needed for. Now, any extra dollars to provide our member and our community with internet, that comes from Trailwave.
Right, yep, through the separate business venture. So to skip ahead a little bit then, what this means in terms of speed and kind of rough price points. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, we're happy to. Right now we have our lowest plan is a 200 meg plan that's $64.95. And we have a 400 meg plan at $74.95 and a 1 gig service starting at $101.95.
Yeah.
And what that means is, unlike some other technologies, when you get a 200, you get 200 up and down. It's synchronous. And we don't throttle bandwidth at all. So you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
And that's what we're most proud of.
Now, rollout, can you talk about sort of time frame, especially for Raven County, how the implementation works and what can folks that are interested do?
Yeah, our majority of our fiber network right now is concentrated between Habersham and White County. But this year we have made a big concentrated effort to start building into Raven. And our first area that we're building in is the C-Tick Road area, where it's going to be 3 phases. Ultimately though, it's going to be about 400 homes passed. And our goal is to have that up and running third quarter of this year.
Yeah. And if folks are interested or want to kind of express the interest in having Trailwave connectivity at some point, what can they do?
Yeah, we have what we call a champion program. And so if a neighborhood gets together and contacts us, we will work with them. So for example, let's just say, neighborhood X comes together, they have 40 homes. Ordinarily, we would need a 60% take rate within there. So what we do is we have a pretty comprehensive ROI model. And then and we're 100% transparent with them. We say, okay, here's the cost. We don't hide anything, and let's just say it's $200,000, to go in and build it. And we say, okay, here's what we need. If you get this X number of people sign up, we will put you on our roadmap.
Yeah.
And that roadmap could be as quick as the next quarter or 2 or 3 quarters down, depending on what we have going.
Yeah, but you're able to give them some idea
Yes.
of when it may be available. And I think to your point, when you talk about take rates or penetration rates, sometimes used in marketing terminology, it means the percentage of that community that would actually take the service. But at that point, if I understand it correctly, that offsets or negates the implementation?
It does. And if for whatever reason we're not able to make that ROI that we expect, we work with them and say, listen, are you willing to pay a little bit higher installation fee? Or are you willing to pay a little bit more per month to get it to your area?
Yeah.
And so far that's worked out very well for us. And and as you said, our typical take rate right now is minimum 50%, as high as 70-75%. Yeah. And what we find, even at the lower end, 50%, within a year, we're in that 58 to 60 something percent take rates.
Yeah.
And it really comes down to the reliability of our network compared to some of our competitors. We're very proud of our 99, and everybody laughs at me, .999% reliability. It means that it rarely goes down. Once it's up, you can, rely on it. And with more and more people having to rely on it for home, doctor's visits, etc., when they need it, they need it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're the most proud of.
Yeah, no, that's great. And we were talking about that earlier in terms of it's not just price, it's not just speed, but it's kind of reliability. And where HEMC is in a unique position because, as you discussed, you need it to provide your core sort of services. And so you've got, some of the active monitoring. You talked about local customer service or tech service.
Yeah.
So that's nice too, because the community, and when there's an issue, not only are you part of the community as an EMC, but you're familiar with it.
Yeah, and the other thing too is we do go to the extra effort. So for example, during an install, if somebody needs an extra device hooked up, they don't know how to do it, we go do it for them. Or if there's an issue, they call us and say, hey, I'm not seeing those speeds that you promised. We go out and we try to educate the end consumer that says, listen, you've got a 10-year-old router that, based off the 802.16, you're really only going to get 50 meg on this. If you plug straight into it, you will get that 200, 400, or 1 gig speeds, and those type of things. And I think that's where the end customer appreciates. And again, we have very little churn because of the fact that we go to that extra effort, and we pride ourselves on doing the right thing. And we have a motto, if you do the right thing at the right time, you get the right results. Yeah. And that's what we live by, at Trailwave.
That's a pretty good motto. So just in case the Homeowners Association presidents or the Homeowners Association members missed it, the Champion program is an opportunity to communicate your interest in having Trailwave hooked up, if you would, yes. If you wish. And then what some folks may not know about, myself included until we talked about it this morning, was you're going to have some additional services on top of broadband that you're going to offer to the community. Can you talk just a little bit about those?
Yeah, we're very excited. We have what's called Trailwave TV. It's a streaming service, roughly 160 channels. A little bit more robust than a YouTube TV, but besides DirecTV, we're the only ones that offer the Atlanta Braves on there. So if you are already a Trailwave customer, contact us and we can get you hooked up. In addition, we also offer telephone services, along with the TV services.
Yeah. And obviously, I've kind of oriented my questions towards consumers, if you will, but this will also be of equal, if not even potentially greater benefit to the businesses that are in Raven County as well.
Yeah, obviously what we've been talking about is residential, but we already serve a number of businesses and then a lot of the county government entities, school system, I believe the jail up there, and we work with them hand in hand in making sure that they have the facilities, to meet their day-to-day needs.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, and it goes with kind of the residential side. We are, if you ask anybody, we're really their preferred option. If we can get it to them, we work with them. And then I think our speed plans are geared to what businesses need today. And I think in addition to that, the customer service side, and tech support side, we're able to not only help them, get the most out of their broadband connection, but we can also help them with a virtual PBX or their phone systems, or different type of telephone options. And then at that point, they get that same consistency and reliability as they do with that broadband. Yeah. I think the value with us as compared to our competitors, any one of our customers could call myself up or Brian Ferguson, our president and CEO. That's that local touch that I think makes the big difference.
And I can attest to the fact that this has Brian's personal attention because he sat with us as we were preparing for this interview, which is pretty unusual and extraordinary. And then last but not least, just the best place to go to get more information about the program and all the things we discussed today, I assume, is probably your website, and we'll link that.
Yeah, right now we're in kind of the process, but yes, you can go to the HEMC or havershamelectric.coop, or it's com, havershamelectric.com, and then you'll see a Trailwave place that you can click on and go. We're in the process of adding to the Trailwave site. Trailwave now has its own social media presence to, again, separate from the HEMC side of things.
Yeah, it's completely separate. Yeah, great. Well, Glenn, thank you very much for taking time this morning to talk about Trailwave. I'm excited. I bet most people in Raven County are excited. So we'll make sure everybody knows that the cavalry is on the way. At least one set of riders to provide some higher speed. Just incredible. It's such a service to the community to have those types of speeds up to a gig for, you know, a little less than $100. That's pretty amazing. Sign me up.
And we want to. You know, so I think that once we get, this is our first big build in Raven, you know, getting the infrastructure where it needs to be able to add on easier. And I think that you'll see over the next year or two a lot more Trailwave trucks, you know, putting fiber in. So, you know, we're extremely excited about it.
Yeah. Well, thank you again. It's great news. Raven County, if you've got a business or organization that has good news, it may be hard to be as good news as Trailwave is, but get in touch with me and Laura. We'd love to schedule an interview like this. As you can see, it was fun for Glenn, a little bit at least, pretty painless. And as we always mention, it's no cost to the community. So thank you again, and Glenn, will you help me say goodbye?
Goodbye.
We'll see you next time, Raven County.